You're listening to the At Your Request Show with Nick Collings. This is Up FM 107.5.
Welcome back. This is the At Your Request Show with Nick Collings, and in the studio with me today, I've got a massive intro for this man. DJ Sirvere is one of the most accomplished and hard-working DJs in New Zealand. He has played a significant role in the development of the hip-hop scene in this country through his previous jobs at record stores and at record companies, via TV, as the host of the Holla Hour. He has a nationwide radio show. He is the editor of Rip It Up magazine and is well known in both NZ and Australia with his successful Major Flavours CDs. Sirvere, it's an absolute pleasure. Is this the first time you've been on Up FM?
Yeah, it is.
First time? Well,
yeah,
I'm going to shake your hand. I know that no one can kind of see that. I'm going to shake your hand and welcome to Up FM.
It's nice to be here, bro. Thank you.
Now, it's a pretty darn impressive resume you have. First of all, where did your love of hip-hop music come from? Where did it all begin?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think I grew up in Papakura, which is the end of the line. Actually, it is the end of the line.
Yeah.
In Auckland, and I guess I was raised on soul and reggae, just from the dynamics of where I used to live. And I think that when hip hop came along, but actually that's not entirely true. When I was at high school, I was a big punk and metal fan. Punk, metal, reggae and soul were my thing. So when hip hop came along, it kind of felt like that was a natural progression for me, because it sort of had it had a lot of attitude that I liked about it, that punk used to afford me, and then the aesthetics of the music was nice too. So I felt like it just came to me naturally, I guess.
Now, how did the transition go from being an avid lover of hip-hop to getting a job in the music industry?
I think the transition came via record stores, because I actually had an awesome job in insurance. I was an insurance claims broker, and I was getting paid heaps of money and working in a suit and town, and I just loved music too much, and I left that and got a crappy job in a record store.
What was the record store? What was the initial record store?
It was Sounds. The first one was Sounds in Manukau City, which was one of the busiest stores in the entire country. It was huge. And then I shifted to into the city, and that's kind of where it started to snowball into something a bit more substantial than just working behind a counter, you know.
And there was True Tone Records and Beat Merchant since then as well.
Yeah, well, there was True Tone Records, and then I went to work at BMG Records with Kirk Harding, and I did that for a few years. But then I realised that the music industry wasn't for me. It was very cutthroat, and I think the soul of it was kind of starting to leave, so I thought I should go back to what I was doing. That's when I went back to Beat Merchants, and that's when I met Jason Housen. Yeah.
And it all went from there. The rest, they say, is history.
Yeah, pretty much. Then I started, throughout all this, I'd already started to do the CDs, so it's been quite a long journey, yeah.
How did the Major Flavours thing come about?
Initially I had no interest in doing an official mix CD. However, Sample G was already doing them for Universal, and you know, him and I have been friends for a long time, and he said, oh, you know, you should do one. And then I was like, I had no interest in it. I said nah. And then the guy who was MD for Universal Records, George Ash, he kept bugging me for about a year and a half, and then after a year and a half I said, oh, stuff it, I'll do it. And then, you know, it was extremely successful.
Are you glad that you did it now?
Yeah, I guess so. I think, I am glad I did it, yeah. But I certainly needed a lot of coaxing into doing it, because I enjoyed the bootleg side of it, yep. Doing what I wanted to do. And when it came to doing Major Flavours, it certainly was a lot of towing the line, which I haven't been too good at doing, to be honest.
And so what would be the process when you go about doing a Major Flavours? Now, I was watching one of your videos the other day about the making of Major Flavours. Now, to a lot of people, they kind of think, oh yeah, you just kind of walk in the studio and bash it out in a day, or 2 days. What's the real process behind a Major Flavours from start to finish?
Well, initially you have to apply for all the songs, so much to everyone else's misinformation, you don't get to put on it whatever you like. You have to apply for every song. We apply for about 250 songs, and we get back about 15. It's a really, really long, boring process. And the challenge for me is that, like, ultimately those 15 songs, I won't necessarily like them. I like some of them. Actually, there's probably more than 15. It's about 20. I will like, maybe I really like 3 of them. I'm okay with 8 of them, and then there's 3 of them I'm not that keen on, and 2 I hate. So the challenge, I was talking to Manchu about this actually last week. The challenge for me is to make something good out of that. Because that you have to be creative to do that, because if you don't necessarily like a couple of those songs, you know, but let's get it straight. You don't get to use whatever you want. It's a really long and arduous process of dodging management and artists and stuff. It's hideous. And then the other thing about it is that, yeah, you can go in the studio and knock it out in an hour, in a day or two, and you can do that. But, you know, I'm a real perfectionist, and to my detriment. I spend way too much time making sure everything's right, but I've done that since day one, and I will continue to do that. So it's all the little bits and pieces that I add on to the way that I get it mixed down before it goes to mastering that I spend hours fussing over that mix to make sure it's just right. So that's why it takes me about 7 days to mix that album. But I feel like it's perfect, you know, like not perfect in the fact that I think it's the most amazing thing ever, but there's nothing on that I'm not proud of, you know what I mean? I got it just right.
So taking the tracks that you've got and just basically moulding them into this beast that is not only going to be commercially successful, but something that you're proud of as well. Exactly.
Like, you know, I don't like Katy Perry. Let's get it straight. I don't like that song, but I did something to it that I think that I was afterwards. I'm like, that's cool. I listened to it yesterday. I'm like, how makes you cool with that? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So as long as I can keep myself happy, and I know that I am a little bit too much of a perfectionist, then I'm okay with it.
Now, you're regularly jet-setting all over the world, and you've had the pleasure of meeting some of the artists that you respect and also look up to. Do you ever get starstruck?
I got starstruck by 50 Cent when I first met him. Yep, absolutely. That was at the height of his success, when 50 was on fire. He was the biggest selling artist in the world. He had #1 record all around the world. And the first day I met him, I was a bit starstruck. He's got an incredible aura about him. But otherwise, since then, that was a while ago. Since then, not really. I met who did I meet? Kim Kardashian. I got a little bit starstruck when I met Kim.
Is that because you know you're looking at them on the TV and stuff, and it just doesn't seem like they're a real person?
No, I think she's just hot.
Oh, that's why you're starstruck. Yeah. So it was a little bit more.
Yeah, it's just hot. She's just hot.
now, a lot of DJs and artists that have had as much success as yourself eventually disappear abroad to pursue their opportunities further. You're a little bit of an exception to the rule so far. What is it that keeps you content in New Zealand?
Because I'm from here and I love it here, and I, you know, like the last 6 years I've been gone. I've been touring Australia relentlessly, and it's worked really well. The CDs, because it's such a huge country, you know, I have sold a lot of CDs in Australia. You know, over here you're lucky if you sell 1,000. You know, over there, on the last couple I sold 20-odd thousand CDs, so you can still get good traction out of it. The problem is that Australia is not New Zealand. Like, it's beautiful here, man. People have these, you know, grand plans of taking over the world, and that's cool too. But I love it here, and I have children here. You know, I've got 3 kids. I don't want to be too far away from them, so it's part of that. And I'm from here, man. You're proud to be a Kiwi. I'm from Turangi, man. I'm from the middle of nowhere. I like it here. I come home from being to Perth and Melbourne and all that, and it's fun. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But when I get back, I do appreciate the fact we live in a beautiful country. And that may sound really mushy, but it's true. I do. I love it here.
I think that's you know, a sentiment that a lot of people share. Matt from Concord Dawn, very similar. Kind of came back here and goes, I love here. You know, I can probably see myself maybe coming back here again, but right now I've got to do what I got to do to you know, make it. And sometimes it is location. Whereabouts, you know, where you're at.
Totally, and like I'm still maintaining I've got residency in Brisbane and a residency in Gold Coast. I'll continue to do them for every 4 to 5 weeks. Go back there, back and forth, and that's cool. That keeps me happy, you know. And travel's nothing to me anymore. Travel's like a blink, and I'm in Gold Coast, so you have to get over there after a while, you know.
So the frequent flyer miles are doing all right.
Yeah, they're really good, actually.
Now you were talking about sales of CDs. How have you found it? How have you found it over the last? When was the very first Major Flavours?
2000.
2000, so it's a decade old.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. How have you found it? You know, to be different from the business side of it. You know, sales are well, you know, down a lot.
Yeah, sales are really down. It's quite shocking, actually.
Yeah.
Especially after coming from Australia, where you can sell in, you know, a really decent amount. It's a bit of a state, but I don't really care because I love doing this. Like when I put the CD out on Monday, I haven't put out a CD in this country for 6 years. I felt real good about it. I felt really, really good about it. I know that it's a viable little. It's you know, we don't have as much money anymore. You know, like I used to do these things for a fee. Like in Australia, I do these CDs and you get paid like a stack of money. Over here, you do them and you get paid nothing. And I think that's really cool.
Do you find it humbling? You know, do you find it like, oh, you know, I'm DJ, you know, don't you know, well, it's not so much, you know, don't you know I'm DJ Sirvere, but you come back here and you go, you know what, it's all about the tunes, it's all about the people.
I don't think I was ever like that, but I know exactly what you mean, because there's a whole bunch of idiot DJs in Australia that are like that. I've never really been like that, because I think that my children and my partner are my grounding, so I never really get like that. Although you can get a little bit of a big head when you're on stage in front of 2,000 people, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? But on the same token, it's like, I'm just happy to be still doing this stuff after this time. And besides it all, I love the DJing part of it. So I played in Hamilton on the weekend. I'm playing in Manukau, Pukekohe, Tauranga. I'm going everywhere. That's what I like doing, because I love that. The minute I stop liking that is when I will hang it up.
Have there ever been times that you've kind of gone, man, why the hell am I putting so much time and effort into that? And you're just like, oh.
Yeah, just before I did the first Major Flavours, I took a break. I took a year off because it was doing my head in, but I wasn't quite in the right space. In 2000, I got it together and I haven't stopped. I'm not about to stop. I have no plans on stopping doing this. Especially like on Hamilton on the weekend, I played at Soundscape.
Soundscape, that was huge.
And like when I was on at that time, I was in the pocket. I felt like I have no intention of stopping doing this for a little while, at least, because I like it. I enjoy it. You know, it's not like I'm doing this like, oh, you don't get paid. Nah, I actually was in that moment. I didn't care about any of that. I was just happy to be still doing this after all this time.
Playing tunes and entertaining people.
Love it. I love it.
Now, the latest Major Flavours 2011 mix CD, it hits the stores this week. What can the die-hard fans of the Major Flavours series expect this time round?
Well, it's different. So, back in 2000, when I first did the first 5 or 6 in New Zealand, I broke all the rules. Seriously, like, there are certain rules you are supposed to adhere to when you do mix CDs. I broke every single one of them.
What were some of the rules that you broke?
Well, you're not supposed to, like, you know, in the early ones, I used to mix the song for about a minute and a half and mix to the next one. You're not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to do that. You're supposed to keep the duration of a song that you mix within 30 seconds of its original length. Yeah, so I broke the rules for years.
Did someone write, this is the first time I've heard it. Did someone write the handbook?
Well, actually, it's actually 10 seconds, but I've managed to massage it into 30, and it's in everyone's contract. So when a song exists, attached to that contract is all these things, and one of them is that if it gets put on a compilation, it retains its original duration and there's a buffer. But it's never more than 30 seconds. So when I did all those albums back then, I can't be touched now, it's too late now. But I broke a lot of rules. So when I got to Australia, I started to mix the album and I sent them a sample of it, and they're like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean what I'm doing? I'm doing what I've always been doing. And they're like, nah, this is actually what you're allowed to do. And that kind of it made everybody aware. So whenever I do anything now, they're all watching me. So when you hear the new album, like songs, I don't mix songs as fast as I used to, because you're not actually allowed to. If I was doing a bootleg mix CD, which I still do, which you can still pick some up online, I just go hard to do whatever I want. But in a released sense, you must stick to the duration. So the songs are much longer. So on the first disc, there's 20 songs instead of 40. I just got busted, basically.
Do you find there's a lot of red tape? And
it's heaps of red tape, tons of it.
When you're doing something like that?
Yep, there's tons of it, and I've managed to still retain my artistic expression and do what I want to do. So there's a bit of action going on, and I'm happy with it. I think it's the best of the new era and the best of the old era. Somewhere it meets in the middle. Yeah.
Now, like previous volumes of Major Flavours, the 2011 edition comes with an extra bonus disc featuring some of the cream of the New Zealand hip hop scene, including guys like Homebrew. There's also like Shay Fu and King Kabisi featuring on there as well. How important is it for you to represent and showcase New Zealand hip hop?
100%. It's always been my intention to put forward local talent. So when I did it, I said to Universal, I'm not going to do this unless you give me an extra disc. I'm going to fill it up with local talent. We'll put it out there. That was one of the first things I said.
And how hard was it for
I put it together in about 3 hours. And I put the bonus disc together in about 3 hours. Everyone's like going, oh yeah, I can have 2 songs. I'm like, no, just one. It's easy as, and it's really good. You know, you think about it. If I sell a whole bunch of these CDs, this CD of Team Dynamite, Homebrew CD ends up in the living rooms of people that don't listen to that stuff, I've won. We win, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely exposing new talent to people that otherwise kind of wouldn't. That's kind of like why I've got you on Up. You know, we've got a whole bunch of people that are into dance, that are into rock, that are into hip hop. You know, I'm a big hip hop fan as well, and I think exposing people to that just, you know.
Well, it's funny. It's funny because back in the day when I started DJing with Greg Churchill, and we used to play everything back in the day. I know you've probably heard this a million times, but we really did. I really played heaps of house back in the day. Like, this is 20 years ago, but my sets comprise of LL Cool J, Joe Smooth, honestly, Sterling Void. You know, all these songs that are hip-hop house music classics, we used to play those songs. 10 City, That's the Way I Love Is. All these songs, we used to play everything. Adamski, everything we used to play along with hip-hop, we used to go up and down, and it used to work. It's just so segregated now. It's not as cool. Back then was way better. It was me, Roger Perry, Greg Churchill, John Davis, Grant Cooney. You know, we had a ball, man. It was awesome. So we come from the same roots. It's not surprising that everyone's into the same stuff.
Now, what do you think is, from that DJ point of view, what do you think is, has changed in the last 20 years to create that segregation in between?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know.
Because I notice it as well. No matter what music genre you're into, that defines, you know, generally that defines you. And, you're that. Even within dance, there's, you're a house head. Oh, you're a dubstep head. You're a trance head. You're a whatever.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I have no answer to that question. All I know is that the only place you can do it is Rakino's, I reckon. If you play at Rakino's, you might be able to play a really cross-genre set. You could get away with there. Ponsonby Session Club, I can do it. Yep. But I can't do it at a club. Yep. Everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm playing whatever I want to play, you know?
Aren't you that hip-hop DJ?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Aren't you that hip-hop guy? Yeah. And that's cool. I mean, I understand it. Yeah, I understand why people get like that, but I don't understand it. I'd love to do a gig one night with, like, me, Roger, and Greg, and Emmanuel Bundy, and we would play anything we want to. That would be really cool.
There you go. I'll lay out the challenge. Challenge to any promoters.
That would be cool.
Get a hold of us and make that one happen. Now, I've got a set of rapid fire questions for you. Pretty much just just kind of 1 or 2 word answers on most of these. Now, I'm aware that you're a massive shoe fanatic. Yes. How many pairs of shoes do you have, and what's your favourite?
Well, I just shifted house. I got 314 pairs of Jordans.
Just Jordans?
Just Jordans.
That's your thing?
314 pairs. I got about 6 pairs of other shoes, like Air Force Ones, blah, blah, but I've got 314 pairs of Jordans, and my favourites are... Well, when I was in New York last, I got some Nike ID Sirvere Jordans made in white cattle colours, so that was me. They're my favourites.
Without doubt. Now, Nike helped you out a lot with that as well.
I'm sponsored by Nike Jordan, yeah.
Now, who is the most famous person right now on your cell phone?
Wycliffe Jean.
Have you ever drunk dialed?
No, but I've spoken to him on the phone, yeah.
Done it a couple of times. Now, being that it is Major Flavours, what's your favourite ice cream flavour?
Oh, it's easy. That's butterscotch, the butterscotch one. Love that. I love it.
Now, who's your all-time hero and why? In the background, we're listening to a little bit of DJ Premier as well. I know that.
Are you talking musically?
Yeah. Well, just in general. You tell me. Who's your all-time hero and why? Someone that you just
Stevie Wonder. Yep. Because I was raised on Songs in the Key of Life. I was raised on that record. I remember my dad mowing the lawns while I listened to it. And I went and saw him 2 years ago at Vector Arena and bawled my eyes out. He's my hero. He's my hero, man.
Now, for a DJ that was, that's been around, like you said, 20 years, you've probably got mounted a pretty massive vinyl collection out there. And if you're anything like me, the missus is always like, oh, when are you going to get rid of those? Stuff like that. But if you're anything like me, I'm not getting rid of any of them. What would be the most prized possession in your vinyl collection?
I did get rid of a whole lot of them recently.
You did?
Yep. My prized possession is real simple. There's this DJ called Rock Raider who's one of the greatest battle DJs of all time, and he passed away a year and a bit ago. And we've been friends since '97, and he gave me this set of 3 white label test pressing records that he used to use as his performance set. There's like 20
when he was in the DMCs and part of the Executioners.
Yeah. And he had these white label pressings, and I actually got given them by Kirk via Rock Radar, but there's like 25 sets in the world. They are my absolute prize business. Yeah,
they're the ones that you hardly ever get out, and you just
house is burning down. Grab those.
That's going on. Now, did you ever have a high top fade?
Yeah,
you did.
I had a shocking flat top, man. It had a little bald spot in the middle. It was terrible. Yeah, I remember it, but it was terrible.
What's your favourite hip hop movie of all time?
Beat Street.
It is Beat Street?
Beat Street is one of the pivotal moments that I got switched on to hip hop music. Yeah, 84.
For me, I'm very, very similar as well. I used to get my dad's turntable, get out, and my brother had a copy of Beat Street, the LP, and I just sit there and I go, oh yeah, back and forth on the turntable, and just completely wreck the parents.
I think every DJ did that. Yeah. Like, not necessarily because of Beat Street, you just had to go, eh?
Oh, you had to.
Yeah.
You had to. You saw someone else do it, and when I want to do that as well. Now, what's been your proudest achievement to date?
Probably my kids. Apart from DJing, probably my kids. I think my children are awesome, and they're really good kids too. I don't have real nasty little crap kids, but that, and also when I did the big day out tour of Australia, I think that was a bit of a moment for me. I thought that was pretty cool that I got invited. Plus, Major Flavours Volume 2, I did a gig at the St. James, which is a beautiful building. Sold that place out. That was probably singularly my most proudest DJ moment. Yeah. Where
you kind of thought, I'm no longer just a DJ that's playing in club. I'm like, hey, I'm the man on the poster.
Well, it was cool because I looked upstairs and my dad was sitting right in the middle, and it was pretty cool. I was pretty happy.
Now, finally, where can people find out more about DJ Sirvere online?
I'm on Facebook 24/7 and on Twitter, so that's probably the best place to go is facebook.com/DJ Sirvere. It's all one word, DJ Sirvere. And on Twitter, it's twitter.com/DJ Sirvere. I'm always on there, and that is me, yeah. I'm not like Charlie Sheen. That's not even Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen doesn't even fill out his own Twitter messages. Did you know that?
It wouldn't surprise me.
That annoys me.
Probably got a publicist that's sitting there going, oh, what did Britney do? Oh, yeah.
2 million people in like a week, and he's not even filling out. I think we got done by him, actually.
You can work on trying to top him.
Yeah, whatever.
Now you've got a Major Flavours release party happening as part of the session as well.
Yeah,
give us the lowdown about that.
Yeah, Thursday night. It's tomorrow night, right? What's today? Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday.
Tomorrow night at Code. Actually, it's turned into this big thing because originally it was just a release party for the CDs. So the CDs out on Monday. Was out on Monday, and so Thursday was my Auckland release party. So it's a Code. Everyone knows where Code is, downstairs on Shortland Street. So I'm having a release party there, but I'm giving away CDs and stuff. But it's also Ethical from Kids in Space. It's his birthday. He's the MC there. Plus, it's my best friend Rocky's birthday. So it's kind of like ballooned into this big malarkey ruckus type thing.
Juggernaut of...
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then on Friday I'm playing at Republic in Manukau City, and then on Smart Bar in Pukekohe on Saturday, so it's going to be a pretty full on month, I think. But yeah, Thursday's going to be good fun.
And finally as well, where can people buy Major Flavours? If they're sitting there going, oh, this Sirvere guy, see, he sounds a bit of alright,
Not a dick.
where can they go and, where can they go and get it and support?
JB Hi-Fi is the best place because I love that place. The Warehouse, you can buy from the Warehouse, you can buy from Mighty Ape online. And it'll be on iTunes next week. It takes another extra week for it to get digitised, so you can get it all those places. Also, actually, if you're out and about this weekend from tonight to Saturday, there's all these girls going around town with Major Flavours t-shirts on. If you go up to them, they've got this little flyer and it's got a free download on it. I've done this special mix for 2011 that you can get a free download. So if you see the girls out there's a bunch of them. You can just go up to them and get a little flyer, and it's got the code down the bottom.
And everyone loves some free stuff as well.
Everyone loves some free stuff.
DJ Sirvere,
thank you.
I'm going to shake your hand again. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us here on Up FM. Hopefully, the masses out there are going to go out there and support Major Flavours and go and see you and hopefully know a little bit of the history to DJ Sirvere as well.
Appreciate it, man.
And just because of that, I'm going to go back to 1989. Got some Upper Hut posse here.
Oh my gosh.
I figured we might as well go right back and especially keep it very, very New Zealand. Now the copy of this is off vinyl, so we're keeping it very authentic.
Did you rip it?
I had to. I could have bought the vinyl in, but it would have
it might be a bit warped.
Yeah, it's a bit warped. Let's do it like this. Sirvere, thank you.
Cheers.
when the boss is in effect, yo, it's pumping out loud. To the top, it's hot, we're gonna stay on side, and it's locked to rock. Come along, enjoy the ride. Come along, stand strong, step out like we say. Know your way, the day, get it right, and then stay true, man. You gotta be true. Yo, T, you what's up? What it say? We get funky, just pump that fist, and let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Slipping, just gripping, taking hold of the rhythm with precision. You're sitting down, taking us where it flow with the groove, the moves. So look out. Oh, excuse me, step on the dance floor. Keep the beat pumping till you want more. Well, if you're in the place, you're gonna get more. If you can't take the place, use the back door. We never came here to do no quiet show. Why about this time, clear as you know. On the time we came here to pump the dope sound, you should know we came here to get down like this. Like this. You're coming right with no despair. Don't care about the suckers, about this pity out there. I think you're fine, I'm thinking you're dope. Yo, I think it's fun, yo, what a big joke. Yeah, take time to listen and kick this about fixing. Unless you help create, get with it, yo. You're out of date, you ain't doing it for the people, man, you're just a fake. What comes out your mouth ain't for no one else but yourself. What about those that need help? What about them, you know? We're gonna do it like this. Like this. Never say a rhyme that ain't too cool. Never be a sucker, look like a fool. If you're down my law, you know me, say murder. If you act, you know you take it out me face to face. Never turn my back or hoodwink my people. Never give it to drugs, deceit and evil. Never let it pass it by, I won't miss. Never do that. Why? Cause we do like this. We gonna do like this. Get down. We gonna do like this.
Absolute bit of classic hip-hop, New Zealand hip-hop right there. Upper Hut Posse, do it like this. And DJ Sirvere was saying that he actually appears in the music video, Walking Past Real Groovy. There you go, a little bit of a history lesson for you. And big ups to DJ Sirvere for coming in. Don't forget, go check out Major Flavours 2011. It is available right now, JB Hi-Fi or mightyape.co.nz. I'm going to be back after the commercial break. It is the At Your Request show with Nick Collings. You're listening to Up FM 107.5.